Hi guys, welcome to another video for Respiratory 2140. In this video we are going to be discussing the Vapotherm, which is a brand specific type of high flow nasal cannula. So indications for high flow nasal cannula include supporting inspiratory demand, so that inhalation in, helping support that so that that patient is able to take a deeper breath and a more comfortable breath in. To flush out dead space, which is the air that is not actively involved in gas exchange, to help flush that out to improve CO2, to help decrease CO2, to help with workup breathing, to help patients be able to get that breath in order to decrease their workup breathing, and also for oxygenation purposes is a very common one. Those are indications for high flow nasal cannula. In this video specifically, I'm going to show you the Vapotherm system. So let's begin by, in the back and up top here, a lot of electronic respiratory equipment and different respiratory devices, they are electronically powered. So we have our electric plug we have. All respiratory equipment gets plugged into red outlets. This is so that the so that the device, if there is for some reason a loss of power in the hospital, that it will just continuously give that power while the backup generators work. Also, we have our quick connect for oxygen and our quick connect for air. We have both so that the oxygen can blend while giving adequate flow. A few other parts of the Vapotherm system is we have our bag of water to allow for humidity, because if we're giving high flows of oxygen, we want to try to give humidity in order to not dry out that very fragile mucosa we have. Coming down, we have our inside of our circuit, which you can take this little ledge here and pop it up. This cartridge is disposable for between patients. This piece pops out, if I can get it, and will come separate. Which then attaches into the rest of the container here, the canister, into the matching holes. You can see here. After that, you make sure that your connections and you're sliding it in into the flow here. And metal on metal is how we heat and humidify. Line it up, slide it on in, give it a good push. This cartridge, again, will help with the heat, humidity, and flow regulation and oxygenation of the whole system. It's kind of the brain. And we just make sure our circuit comes down and closes. One thing with the circuit to be very careful of is there are two types of circuits. There is a low flow, high flow adapter, which we use for neonatal and pediatrics. And then we have the high flow adult circuits. Due to what was available to me at the moment, I have a low flow neonatal, but they are both set up the same. Most of the time, neonatal, we go from about 1 liter to 8 liters. Where in adult, we have a much higher flow with a higher range. So typically between 20 to 60 liters is the range you'd use for an adult high flow patient. One thing about flow is it provides little side effect. It's very therapeutic with low to minimum risk. So it's okay to start high and wean that flow down, than to increase and build that flow and worry about causing trauma or injury to the lung. Flow can actually be very therapeutic. After that, we have our circuit that comes down. And the thing with high flow circuits is they're kind of stiff now, but once they warm up, they are very bendy and easy to use and adjust. And then at this end, we have our adapter where we can attach our oxygen device, such as a Vapotherm specific high flow nasal cannula. So the first things first with a high flow, spike the water, or else it's kind of mad, the Vapotherm specifically. Just gonna attach that there. So I spike my circuit for my Vapotherm. Next, I will do my electronic. So I plug in my Vapotherm. Then I plug in my oxygen and my air. I am going to apologize. I should have had this ready to go. Attached to the outlets on the wall where we can get the 50 psi. After that, we have the screen that turns on. And we can set our flow. The white is flow. We are currently set at 5 liters per minute. Our FiO2, which we have at 21. And then our temperature, which if your vocal cords are above 31 and 34 for an adult patient is normal. If you are below the vocal cords, 37 degrees, because we will be invasively providing humidity and oxygenation, such as with a trach. So if you want to make a change, you push this button in the middle, and then you find whatever number is flashing, and you can adjust and you can either select or it will automatically. So we'll, for example, go up to 40%. We're gonna put our patient on 34 degrees and 8 liters because I have a low flow neonatal pediatric circuit on. So once I have the settings I desire, I press the on button. Okay, we know it's working when it's beeping, as it is, and we can see water coming through the circuit. And it's starting to build that flow. Once this is a solid green, that means we have reached our flow, our FiO2 and our FiO2 settings, and the temperature will continue to heat up. So once it is a solid green is when our Vapotherm is ready to be attached to our patient. Again, this is where we will attach our cannula to our patient. That is specific for this machine. The Vapotherm is really good because it gives a high humidity that really helps with those nerves and that cilia in order to protect them and help secretion mobilization. So if you need to put it on standby, you can just push this button again. Orange means it's on standby. And then if you want it back on, press it again. It will continue to beep. And when it's ready to go, because our circuit's already filled with water, sometimes you have to hold it down. So we wanted to introduce the high flow system to you. Okay. We want to introduce the high flow system to you early because it is a form of oxygen therapy, and it's also a type of therapy and modality that is growing in popularity. So this is a skill we will continue to pass off in 2160, and we will review and come back to. So think of the high flow right now, the Vapotherm, and I'm going to show you two other systems as introductions at this point in time. So make sure to write down questions, come with lots of questions. There were definitely a few different types of terms that are a little fresh. So we will see you guys in lab. Come with lots of questions. It'll be great.